in a nutshell, what happened was basically JFK or Kennedy or someone had pulled off this masterful lie. Kennedy had basically pulled off this masterful lie. Like I said, as time goes on, as things go on, you will find out about who Kennedy was and what Kennedy was, and why he was executed, and everything that happened with him. And and actually, it was probably Nixon that was a bad person. I don't really know exactly the details of it, but as time goes on, you'll find out more and more information, and eventually, probably the truth will come out about Kennedy and everything else like that. Like I said, I wasn't sure about him. I wanted to be sure about him before we killed him or whatever else like that. And I'm still not entirely. I wasn't entirely sure about him. And yeah, and at one point in time, I was wondering why he actually got killed. Um, anyway, though, it has to do with Lee Harvey Oswald and everything else like that. Like Lee Harvey Oswald and Kennedy, they did know each other, or Jimmy Carter or something. You have to look up Jimmy Carter, John McCain, Richard Nixon, and trace them back to Germany, to their time in Germany, is what you need to do. See, it started out way, way long before, or it has to do with their time in Germany or something like that. Like in years and years and years and years before or something. It's very complicated, like I say. Basically, JFK, or the person you know as Kennedy, basically pulled off this masterful lie. Absolutely masterful. Like I said, Kennedy's money actually came from horse betting, and actually came from what they did was they set it up. They set up a horse riding ring out in the desert. As far as best I could figure, or best that's been put to me, basically, is they set up a horse riding ring out in the desert or somewhere else like that, and basically they would do they would know the pre-score of basically of the horse race, because there was a 5 minute gap between when the people saw it and when the horse race actually happened or something like that. Anyway, so they were able to collect a lot of money. Anyway, it's gambling something or something like that, or football payoffs or something like that. Basically using steroids to pretty much win games and all that other stuff. Something like that. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know the details of Kennedy, but that's where he actually got his money or something else like that. Um, and the car he was driving was actually one of my experimental cars. It was a race car that was built, had a really high performance engine, like 700 horsepower or something like that. I don't know, it's complicated. Like I said, you'll have to ask the Secret Service, you'll have to talk to other people for the details of it. But basically, Kennedy pulled off this masterful lie. Absolutely masterful. Where everybody on Earth thought that he was Lucifer's star, or this golden child person, or this great bringer of peace and person, blah blah blah, or something like that. Like I said, there's lots of photographs of people basically giving JFK their baby to kiss them, or for him to bless them. Basically, the I think people may have thought that Kennedy was actually the creator of humanity or something, or basically that maybe Kennedy was me or something like that. Anyway, he was actually a clone or something like that, or that he was immortal or God or something like that. Because, like I said, what they were doing is they had clones, and they'd bring out a clone like every 2 years or something, so it seemed like Kennedy wasn't aging or something. Anyway, it was this masterful lie that they did. Basically, I'm pretty sure. And anyway, whatever. I don't really care. Like I said, you'll have to talk to the Secret Service. Anyway, it's been regarded, I guess, national security, top secret. But basically, it pretty much ended with Nixon, basically, and all that other stuff. And pretty much ended when basically John McCain got captured by the Chinese or something like that. Like I said, he bombed a city. They shot him down with a missile, and him and basically Chuck Yeager, I believe it was, got captured, pretty much, and they're being held by the Koreans or the Chinese, basically, the Asians, pretty much. They captured them, or the Germans. Somebody captured them. They were captured in either Germany or China or something like that. And basically, they interrogated them. They got them really drunk. They gave them some of the stuff, and they interrogated them about everything that they knew. So anyway, whatever. Anyway, so I don't like I say, you have to ask the Chinese or the Germans or the Russians or someone that was around back then. But basically, Nixon or JFK was part of, I believe. the story is that they were part of this great big huge con job, basically where they were pretending or lying about being basically the president or the owner of America or something. I don't really know. Like I said, and JFK was actually they were actually the person that you know as Kennedy or JFK was actually a person that was he was a clone. He had been cloned several different times. Um, so John McCain and like I say, you'll have to talk to either the Germans or the Chinese about that time. It happened sometime around 1920, 1940, some year. I don't really know. Like I said, I've shown you the video of basically John McCain being questioned. Pretty much they captured him and they were questioning him about what he was doing or whatever or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, they asked him a bunch of things and they found out everything he knew or something like that. They had him for like 3 or 6 months or something. Like I said, when people find out about the truth about me, although nobody really knew about the truth about me, like I said, even I am confused about the truth about me, like because it got so complicated. Because like I say, there are exoskeletons, 1.5s, and also the creator of the human race and all kinds of other stuff, and it's verifiable. Like I said, you can once upon a time you could actually call Mars or Saturn or one of these other planets, and you could actually talk to life forms and they would tell you about me and everything else like that. And that was real. There's a picture of him. Like I said, there's a picture of the 1.5s and our astronauts. The little 1.5 has a straw hat on, and he's in a little Hawaiian shirt, and he's at some place somewhere. Anyway, a bunch of people tried to say that there was a fake picture, but it wasn't fake. No, the 1.5s were real people. They were high gravity astronauts and stuff like that from the 1.5 race, which I built. I also built the exoskeletons, 4 different types of exoskeletons, and a couple other different kinds of life forms. That's what I did. I genetically built life forms, and also I did a lot of genetic work. I did language work. I did all kinds of stuff basically. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. So I'm lying. No. Anyway, though, but that's what I did. I created the Spanish language, and like I said, it was also because when I owned Earth, because it was verified that I built the star. That's another thing is a lot of people were saying that they had built the star, but it was eventually found out that it was actually me. It's me, Lucifer Star, that built the stars. So I actually did that. I built that star, that sun. I built a lot of the suns or stars. So anyway, after that was found out, then I could customize the life forms on Earth any way I wanted. So anyway, I customized the human race a little bit to make them exactly what I wanted, which is basically pretty much the way you are now. Some people were trying to say that I create them like Abraham Lincoln's, and it's like, ew, no, I don't think so. Ugh. No, that's basically the way the women look now, and the men look, well, basically the way you look now, pretty much. I think you're perfect the way you are, soft and cuddly and snuggly and sounding perfect. Like I said, the way you sound, your fingers. The only difference was I was seeing 4 fingers or something like that, and other people pointed out, well, a thumb would help. You could grip things with a thumb, and I was like, yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah, whatever. I didn't really care. So they're a little bit different there. Other people thought the thumb would be a good idea or something like that, but whatever. So maybe I was a little bit, but I don't know. But that was when I was Brian or something like that. I wasn't Lucifer Star anymore. Well, I mean, I was still Lucifer Star, but you know what I mean. I had become Brian. Once I became Brian, there's no going back really. I mean, I could never undo. I would always be have been Brian. So anyway, and I like being Brian. Brian was a good. Brian's all right. I like Brian. I mean, my life kind of sucks. I'm supposed to be richer, but can't complain too much. I'm still alive, so it's better than when Nixon. Oh God, I was gonna get buried. I'm not kidding. I have the memories of it too. Like dying and having some piece of you know what, raping women or having sex with women over me. Ugh. Horrible, horrible, really horrible. Like that guy was psycho. At least I'm past that. So I got past that. So I think I'm doing pretty good. A lot of really bad things happened to me. Hey, whatever. Oh well. Now Nixon's dead and I'm still alive. But he got to do whatever he wanted in like whatever year. So yeah, whatever.